silly like that. Also, it's... Huh. Being oddly slow for some reason. Okay. Why did you decide to freeze all of a sudden? Please don't do that. I like how I'm actually using my bloody computer and it's behaving even worse than it usually would. What are you initializing? What are you loading right now? Oh god. Should I be afraid? I should probably be afraid. Yeah, of course it's loading in a... Oh, why on earth it was doing that? Yes. Alright. So yes, it decided to probably load the latest save, which is not what I wanted it to do. Looks like I've got to suffer 2 loading screens here, but whatever. It is what it is. But yes. I did realize, though, that I was making I guess a bit of a mistake, per se. In the sense that, I mean, I only really have 300 million in the bank, per se, here. Actually, no, it's 400 million in the bank. And I'm not really... Like, I keep blowing all of it on expensive-ass battleships that die within, like, 30 seconds, which is just a slight waste. Just to say the least. So what I should be bloody doing is investing that into basically getting more money, rather than just wasting it. That being said... Let me go ahead and load the correct thing here, because somebody is currently waving at me, and I'm going to have to come over there and whack them with a stick. Alright, one quick second while this loads. I will fix things. Alright, the tech support has returned. Let's do this. Ah yes, and all of those turrets just kind of flew off into the distance there. The laser towers, I should say. So we are 28 some kilometers. I'll just slow my way towards it. Eventually the guns will open up. So, let's go ahead and look at some things and stuff. But yeah, so the main thing that I have here is that we currently have 351 million. Actually, I'm going to see if I can cancel this one thing here. Nemesis Vanguard. So the Kraken has already finished. You know what? Let's cancel the rattlesnakes then. As much as I want them, you know, if they're not going to construct right now, then they're not going to construct. Eventually, I'll just be able to make my own damn ones. So right now, we're pumping out Hermes Sentinels like crazy. Well, the laser towers actually got close enough to hit the station itself. Doesn't look like they're deploying any drones, which is nice. Hopefully that means I can just kind of pound away at this thing without an issue. So right now we're producing a crap ton of Hermes Sentinels, and I'll probably even produce more than this, because I really need to start boosting what we're making in the economy here, which also means I should probably start building a couple of more stations. And the best place to do that is going to be our brand new sector, as we will be able to take the most advantage from that. Right, let's get ourselves in a nice reasonable range here so we can actually start pounding away at this station while we work on building some stations. Now, I've already actually designed one of them, but I still need to kind of design the other two. One is essentially a advanced component factory, so it does Claytronics, advanced electronics, and I think it was field coils, if I'm not mistaken. Basically the kind of stuff that we need to make the stations, and we're buying all the damn time. So we'll be making those in not quite bulk, because unfortunately Claytronics are kind of ridiculous, to be completely honest, because they're very, very inefficient for the investment you're making. Basically, if you want to... There we go, let's pause it right there, that should be good. If you want to produce a station that has 4 Claytronics facilities, if you want to make it self-sufficient, the amount of other factories that you need to have on that station is ridiculous. You need it just doubles and triples. You go from needing 1 or 2 of each other station to needing 4 or 6 of each other station in some cases, and it's just why? Alright, let's move her a bit more forward so the big guns down below can also fire. Don't want to get too close though. That should be good enough. Right, now, that being said, let's go ahead and start our first other mega complex. Damn, that just looks so nice. Look at that. Look at that beautiful wing there. Ah, that is the Pyramid of Death. So we're gonna go ahead and make ourselves a brand new plot in here. Let's do it right around here. We want to make sure the defense station's kind of in between that. This is going to be a big plot. We don't actually need actually, we don't, yeah, well, we'll make it anyway, because we can. Because it's going to cost us literally nothing. Because we don't need to buy any licenses in our own sector. Right, let me go ahead and load the plan here. So the Claytronics, Advanced Electronics, and Field Coil Factory, which is this lovely beast right here. It's a pretty decent little design. It's not really blowing my mind too much, but it works. It's functional. And it also has actual biomes as well as the facilities to support a workforce. So we're going to actually start working on this one here. And then we're also going to be loading up. I actually have to design these ones still, which is essentially the engine part. Not that one. It was the 5-time engine and hull fac, which I have the components, but I actually need to assemble them. I can hit random, but it kind of, every time I hit random, to shuffle it so that every one of these components will kind of do their own thing, which takes a bloody long time, for one, as it tries to compute how it wants to do it. That or I just keep spamming the button and eventually it kind of does the job. It's like, I can't figure out how to do this. Please help me, sir. There we go. Now it finally had a configuration. So if you look at it, it just looks awkward as hell, doesn't it? It just kind of scatters it everywhere. It looks, honestly, it looks kind of like shit. In comparison to this lovely beast that I put together, it don't look good at all. That's why we're just going to have to design it ourselves. As much as it's a pain in the ass, we're just going to have to do it. But yes, we're going to go with this one to start with. it is going to cost a small fortune, but hey, it's an investment. Now, the one downside is, actually, I think I did design this to produce the base goods first, and then followed by the advanced goods. Or, no, it's just going to randomize it now. Yeah, I figured it might do that. That is rather annoying, but yeah, whatever. It is what it is. Right. I don't have enough builders, though, I don't think. Actually, no, I definitely don't have enough builders, so we'll see if we can find one here. That's Break Promise. We want Ianamus Zura, has nothing. Family Takur are all busy. Fire is a defeat. Oh, here we go. We got an FRF Construction Elephant. I choose you. So he's going to come over and help build this. We're going to confirm this. So that is the design that we're going to make for this one. We're going to go ahead and make another one as well. This one really doesn't need to be a 10 by 10. Let's do it like an 8. I mean, it doesn't matter too much for the size because I can make it basically as much, whatever I want. I'm going to go over here then. Because, yeah, it was not letting me do what I wanted there. Okay, there we go. That'll be good. Create new plot. We'll plop you down over here. Alright, that's good. Confirm. And then this is going to be our engine and hull. So, now we just got to design this thing. That's always the fun part. Let's start off with, of course, this lovely guy to kind of extend this whole thing so that it can, there we go, not be breaching all over the place. I guess I'll use a similar kind of design that I did with the other one. Except I'll try and make things a bit more compact. And I just use the different crosses here. There we go. And now I can basically just line up. Oh, get back up here. Okay, fine. We'll do it this way. Line these guys up like this. If it'll let me. Which it's always kind of finicky like that. There we go. Thank you. No, please disconnect. Thank you. Rotate that now. No. Bad. There we go. That'll do nicely there. Let's go ahead and rotate this guy. I like to have it set up kind of like almost a wing, per se. Hello? Sir. Sir, I did not say you could attach this, sir. You're just being a pain in the ass, aren't you? I could also raise it up high. You know, yeah, let's raise it up higher. Let's put her up here. Although, actually, you know what? No, I don't want to block that off. In case I want to expand that way later. That glows. We'll put it right there. Now we'll just go ahead and copy these. Do same as with the other ones that I did. We'll do 3, followed by a cross module. Oh, nice. We got a lovely explosion, which means that we actually destroyed a section. I should probably actually check soon. Alright. And from there we can readjust this to fit. And something like that. But for now, let me confirm the module changes. Let me find another builder I can hire for this. Actually, no, I'm not going to assign a builder yet because I still need to fix it. Alright. Let's move ourselves forward so the guns can keep firing. And then we can go back to designing this thing. So yeah, my biggest issue right now is that I just wasn't really... I was spending too much on, like, way too much money on building military ships and not enough on actually building things to make me more money, is what the issue was. Because right now I do have a fairly steady income, but I need to make it better than that. There we go. Do-do-do-do. There we go. And then we just simply copy that module. Copy this module. Copy that module. Copy this module. There we go. Now this is never going to be perfect here, but you know, at least it looks perfect. That's the thing. Alright, let's start attaching these babies. We'll go ahead. Actually, let's keep it all inner here. Yeah, let's do that. We'll try and keep it nice and... I mean, we can't keep it entirely symmetrical. Don't understand what I'm looking at. I am essentially designing a station here right now, which is a slight pain in the ass, but hey. This is how the designer works, which is a little clumsy, in all honesty, but, you know, it's functional. Antimatter cell production. Kitty, when your tail whacks the keyboard, bad things happen. Please don't do that. I do love you, but please don't do that. I know you can't help it, but just don't. Alright. The only thing with this one, though, is that it won't be capable of producing its own... what's it called? Its own resources for the biomes. So I will have to design that myself. Or I will have to ship those in, I should say. I mean, I could potentially do it, but... yeah. Let's put that up here. Because this is as far as this needs to be. Let's extend you inwards. There we go. So I still have 4 open slots here. And I can't really attach those to that either. Unless I want to do something like that. Actually, that might work out. How would I do it, though? Well, I just got rid of those. That wasn't intended, but, you know, it happens. So now, if I actually... could use the disc for this, too. Then it wouldn't look as good, would it? Because, well, it definitely wouldn't match up. Well, let's try it and see how this looks. Yeah, no, because I can't put that other one there then, can I? I can't take that back a notch either. Actually, I can attach you. Can attach you up here, then that'll work. Ooh, that'll work. Yeah, okay. So we'll take you off. Take you off. Yes, kitty, I'm sure my shirt smells delicious, but please don't. Remove. Remove. We'll attach you there. Attach you there. defensive modules. Add a disc here. We will add a disc here. If I could ever rotate this damn thing properly, that would help. And actually, if we add a bridge there and a bridge here, and connected this guy up in between, that would look okay. I mean, it's not perfect. I could probably attach one more bridge, perhaps. I mean, it's not going to be all that symmetrical, but hey, it is what it is. Good enough. Okay. That looks good. Let's check the logistical chain here. Everything looks good on the logistical chain. 5 hull, 5 engine part. Good enough. We do have a workforce, which we will have to supply with additional goods. And I didn't hit confirm. Fuck my life. Shit. So this is what happens when you do not hit the confirm button. Ah, that kills me a little inside. Remember, everybody, always hit the confirm button. Or suffer. So basically, Banana God, and welcome, good sir. In the background, you can kind of hear some shots going off, so the capital ship that I'm currently flying around is essentially taking on a Xenon defense platform right now, while I am attempting to design all of this. Okay. Now. Ooh, I can actually do something like this, which would look really cool. Nice. Alright, that's there. That's as good as that's all gonna get. Let's bring these guys up. Rotate you this way. Okay, that's good. Defense module, disc. Rotate the disc. Huh. For some reason it looks a lot closer now than it was previously. Awkward. Apparently I somehow managed to make it even more compact than it was previously. In that case, this guy... No, it's still going to be too much. We'll just attach him in here and call it a day. Yeah, that should be fine. Good enough for me. Confirm the module changes for now. Double check the logistics. Logistics look fine. Used to be if you hit the X here, it would screw you over. Yeah, you had to go station config and all of this. That's how you do it now for that one. Okay, we're good. Alright. Assign or hire a builder. Let's go find another builder somewhere. Easier said than done, apparently. I'll just assign you. You're hired, sir. Come on down. Alright. So he's going to make his way over here. That's two of the 3 stations I want to construct done. I can close out of that. I do need to go into the logistics, though. Or not the logistics, well, kind of the logistics. Go into my account management. Let's go ahead and accept the estimate. Looks like we made a little bit of money on the Grand Exchange Wharf. Made a little bit of money on you. A little bit of money here. But this is where we're going to lose all our money. Because the... Oh, no, not that one. Oh, does it not show up on here yet? That's weird. Probably because it hasn't even started construction yet. It doesn't actually even show up on here. That's interesting. I didn't know that was going to happen. Oh, whatever. Maybe because they don't actually have a manager. Maybe that's why. Information. So that's going to cost me 26 million. This one's going to cost 69 million, which is basically the cost of those 2 rattlesnakes that I sold or canceled the construction of, which is fine. I will have to go buy some managers for those. Actually, I need... How many managers do I actually need right now? I think I need 4 managers right now. Actually, did I give you any money? I did give this one money. Okay, good. Yeah, because they haven't even started construction on those, or we don't have a dock, I guess, for a manager. Well, I guess that's it. Just plain and simple. We don't actually have, well, a dock and a manager on the station, so we can't actually use that menu to just transfer funds like we otherwise would be able to. Okay, let's move a little bit more forward. I don't want to get within range of the weapons of this thing. Let's at least move a little bit forward so perhaps my lower main guns might be able to actually start firing. Actually, let's do it this way. Maybe it's just a matter of pitch. Because sometimes that seems to make a difference. No, they don't appear to be firing at all. Oh, those damn things. That's kind of annoying. They are set to attack all enemies, but whatever. They'll do what they want to do. Right, let's work on the last station that we need to actually construct. Let's see. This one's going to be another big one. Let's make another 10 kilometer cubed plot. Which is a 20 by 20 by 20. Continue. Load plan. Not that one. Weapon, shield, turret, and missile component fac. This one, actually, you know what? I think I'll even hold off on this one. Because this one's going to be a bit of a pain to do. But eventually I will be able to just whip this one together. Because, yeah, there are a lot of components on this, and I would have to completely design another one. And that'd be a pain in the ass. So for now... Yes, discard the current changes. Leave that one alone. Thank you for slapping your tail on the keyboard again, kitty. I appreciate that. That's better. Alright. So by now, I should have my first... Oh, yeah. Actually, no. All of my new traders are done. So let's go ahead and make some more. Because we need a lot. We need all the traders we can get. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and build ships. We need medium ships. Looks like we're missing advanced electronics, which is whatever, I don't care. Hermes Sentinels, we'll use the Hermes. Unavailable equipment items. Okay, fine, let's do this then. We got my MK2 shields. We've got my MK1 split pulse turret, which is just a good, decent little pulse turret. Give him a couple of flares because I can. Give him a captain. Kitty! Here, that's it. Move. Ah, you brat. And let's see if I can give him some service crew. Okay, add to the shopping list. Actually, let me go ahead and save this. Oh, great. Ah, jeez. That should be fine. Add to shopping list, and we want, I would say 20. Yeah, we want 20 of these. Go ahead and confirm that order. They're obviously not all going to be constructed at once, but they'll slowly make their way there. Right. I like how you immediately climb back up on here. Oh, God, you're so adorably annoying. Okay, so... I am going to be splitting these guys up a little bit because there's a few things that I need to accomplish with them. Obviously, number one is making money. But in the process of making money, I also want to make sure that... Kitty, I swear to God. Go already. Stop jumping up on here. Jeez. Basically, the main issue right now is that they will trade the most efficient goods to buy, like, money-wise. Like, they'll buy the most expensive stuff all the time, and that's it. Which is a good thing and also not a good thing. Let's move up a little bit so that the turrets can keep engaging. Because if they're not helping with the trading of the lower-end goods, then the higher-end goods will just not be supplied and not be able to, well, produce. So what I need to do is assign different groups of them to only trade lower-end goods, and do so within a decent, long range. Oh, there we go. The big guns are firing now, down below now. Yeah, there they go. There's my big cannons. Beautiful. Right. So, how do I want to name these? How do I want to name these? I guess I'll go B, M, and H, perhaps. So let's go rename. Hermes Sentinel Basic 1. Rename. Basic 2. Rename. We'll do 10. So these guys won't be making a lot of money, but at the very least, they will help supply the stuff that will. Rename. Okay, that's all of them. Now, depending on their information, because I don't think, no, they're not all one-star pilots. So hopefully they'll be able to do the order, and if they can't, then, well, I'll have to give them some scripts, or give them some resources. So with the basic trader, hey there, Doc Insane. How you doing, good sir? Welcome to Shenanigans. So with the basic default trade system, you basically have to have a minimum 2-star pilot, and you can only distribute like one ware, if basically buying it in one sector and then distributing it within a couple of sectors. Or the auto trader, which is slightly better, where you can take like I think 3 goods and then trade them over a couple of different sectors, which is not very good, not very efficient per se. So I picked up this lovely little mod here / script Tater Trade, which is basically very similar to the older style kind of universal trader. Now, the actual pilot skill will affect the max gate distance, although it does start really high to begin with anyway, which I think this could be balanced a little bit more to lower that down to like maybe 3 gates for the kind I had. Oh, let me see here. Chat is somewhat obscured right now. Notice we're streaming X. I bounced off this so hard for some reason. I play X2 and 3 until my fingers... Yeah, me too! I played X3, like, I put at least 2,000 hours into X3. It was, like, ridiculous. And that was just, that was before, I know, it was 1,000 hours after it came on Steam, and then at least 1,000 to 2,000 before that. So, let's go ahead and set the max buy distance to 3 gates, the max sell distance to 5 gates. We'll check the distance, penalty, we'll increase the penalty slightly. I am going to go with fast trades. They will attempt to trade quickly. Copy presets. So if your legal wares is left on, it will basically add all legal wares, which I don't want it to do. I want to manually add and remove for wares here. So we want to go with the basics. So which basics do I want to do? That is the question. Station building, refined wares. The problem is going to be I'm going to have to do this individually, which is going to suck. Things like engine cells, food rations, graphene. Drop oil, potentially. Just all the lower tier kind of goods. Which I guess I should just go biological wares. That would make my life easier. Let me try and see if I can actually add them afterwards. Biological and refined. Let's give that a try. Now we do want to enable the trade bans. We don't want them trading with the patriarchy because they kind of hate our guts. We'll increase the scan speed to about 8. Confirm that and see how the preset goes, because it'll start adding the wares on here now. It is kind of like the Sector Universe Trader, yes. Yep, you have to select the wares that he's allowed to do. And he just added them in here now. Antimatter cells, Teladionium. This is actually a good, yeah, this looks good here. So I can make it simple and just select those two and I'm basically good to go. Ooh, looks like the station just took a hit there. Right, so this one's done. Let's move on to you then. Information, behavior, Tater. I'm going to... 2 of you will be in this sector. I'll change them, the rest of them to a different one. This guy, you can see that he has slightly less skill, so he's lowered a little bit for that. Same thing, will increase the penalty. Fast trade, which will lower accuracy, but increase the rate at which he'll actually do it. Trade bans... Patriarchy, increase the scanning rate. Now, if you have too many of these set to a higher scan rate, it'll slow down the computer like crazy, but luckily this is a pretty decent little computer. Right, so next, behavior, Tater trade. Now we're going to actually change the trader home for you. Let's have you base in Argon Prime. So we'll click here, select Argon Prime, same thing, 6 distances, 6, check the distance, fast trade, basic goods, trade ban for the patriarchy, 3 scan rate, confirmed. Next. B3. Same thing for you, my friend. Argon Prime. Fast trade. Disable legal wares. Because the thing I find is if you enable legal wares, or even if you enable like shipbuilding wares, there's a slight issue. Namely that they'll always try and buy the most expensive, basically the most expensive thing that they can potentially make the most money off of, which of course is Claytronics. The problem being that they do not make a good profit on Claytronics. A good example is when they were trading things like antimatter cells or fusion coils or stuff like that. They were making a 2-to-1, if not even 3-to-1 at time profit. Whereas with the Claytronics, they only made like an 8-to-1 or 8-to-2. So they were spending 8,000 and they were only getting like 800,000 and only getting like 1 or 200,000 out of it, which was not the greatest in the world. Okay. Same thing for you. Tater trade. Let's position you. Let's send you down to Holy Vision. Let's go ahead and max you out. Okay, check distance. Let's actually increase your penalty further. Fast trade. Trade ban. Even though the default trade ban already has the Patriarch on it. Confirmed. Next is number 5. Looks like we're almost done destroying this defense platform, which is good. Alright. Oh, you actually need to be contacted. Looks like that bugged out slightly for a second there. I just gave him a seminar to boost his skill quickly. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to lower this, or leave this at default now. So I think I might be raising it up a bit too much. So we'll leave the scan speed at 5 there. Okay, next is number 6. You do not have enough either, so I'll contact you. Give you a piloting seminar. Oh, they stopped firing. I might have finished them off. You, I will have start in Trinity Sanctum. Oh, apparently I... Huh? There we go. Fast trade, disable, enable. Confirmed. 7. Check distance, distance of, or penalty of 3, fast trade. Trade bans, Patriarch, confirmed. Did hit confirm, okay, good. And then finally we got 2 more, which I will probably put at Profit Center Alpha. Okay. And this is only the first batch of like 20. Let's see. Old UT knew how big his cargo hold was and how much he could buy. It was given aware. The problem with the Universal Trader at times, or even the Sector Trader, was that they tended to load up like one good and then try and sell that good. So they always had their own issues at times. They seem to work most of the damn time, but yeah. That's definitely an issue that they've had. They've always had for the longest time, was their ship AI was very spotty at times. One last one to go for now, well, at least for this batch. Okay. Enable trade bans, Sireth Patriarch, confirmed. Alright. As they could jump quick, jump and quickly move on. Yeah, pretty much. But with the with this one, obviously the jump drive is basically non-existent, so yeah. Bit more of a challenge for that. Right, so we got a bunch more that have been constructed, some more are almost done basically right now. So let's go ahead and rename you. What do I want to do for you? Let me actually take a look at the information first. Okay, you're going to have to be called. Oh, now it chooses autosave, of course. Now saving. Please wait. Oh yeah, we're buying so many different resources right now. Ah, autosave. You kill me sometimes. I could add legal wares, but no. So shipbuilding, station building, and then high tech. Hmm. I'll just go with a bunch of shipbuilding. I can always remove Claytronics if they do that. I'm not going to do fast trade for this one, though. Let's see if it adds Claytronics. If it does, I have to remove it. No. Okay, we're good. So this one was shipbuilding. Okay. So that being the case, rename. Rename. Okay, good enough. Right. Information, behavior. That's fine. I'm just going to max out your distance, have you check distance, increase that by a little bit, and then just keep going. Shipbuilding wares, trade bans, patriarchy, and call it a day. Might reposition a couple of them, but I'm not going to go too crazy for that, I don't think. Okay, you have to be contacted. Have a piloting seminar. Good thing I still have a ton of those damn things. Trade. It's definitely time consuming. I wish I could just save a profile for this, but yeah. Yeah. You didn't think it'd be that easy, did you? But that's the exchange you get for having something this nice, per se. Get rid of that. Shipbuilding wares. Trade bans. Patriarchy. Moving on. How's the modding for this one? As good as X3? Pretty much, for the most part. I mean, there's only certain things that they are, you know, able to do in a way. But, yeah, same kind of scripting. I don't think they really got as crazy with it. But, yeah. I will say that, as with all X games, it had its issues on launch, and still to this day has some. Like, for example, when it comes to taking on the Xenon here, like the ship I'm currently using. Let me see, we're on number 3 right now, so I'll just exit out of this and we'll get back to that later. So the ship that I'm currently using, this is actually from X Rebirth. So this is the what's it, first of the line battleship or something like that. So this was brought in via the Rebirth mod, or the X Rebirth ship pack, I should say. So it literally just imports a bunch of really nice, yeah, it is a split ship. It imports some of the ships from Rebirth directly into this, slaps on the new turrets, and basically just, yeah, makes it real nice looking. Let's move on to the next one. And unfortunately, I would love to just be attacking these Xenon stations with, you know, a fleet. Basically, just sending a like I have a pretty sizable fleet actually over here, as you can see. And actually, if I target the Raptor, this is the sexiest ship I have. If I target this beast and go to it, you can see this giant monstrosity here. This beast has a capacity of 100 S-class ships, 40 medium-class ships, and has 101 turrets. And yet, even with all of that, an eye will tear this thing apart. The issue I've always had with a lot of the X games is just your friendly ships lack survivability. They don't try to disengage from fights, which leads to them just basically standing there or flying directly into enemy turrets and then just dying a horrible death. So, yeah. So I basically am resorting to, rather than having my fleets attack these, in which case half of them would die and accomplish nothing, I'm able to basically put this thing within a certain range and it will just slowly pick away at the station outside of their cannon range, because Xenon cannons are ridiculously powerful. I mean, again, my, like, fighter wings, they have good formations, they're fairly decent at times, like the, you know, mass-producing Chimeras does quite well. But, yeah. It's just that they lack survivability. They will strafe directly at the enemy and fire all their guns, maybe die, and if they don't die, they'll turn around, you know, go in for another pass, and then again fly directly at the enemy and just rinse and repeat until they die. So there's no dodging, there's no actual, like, dog fighting. It's literally like space jousting, which kind of sucks, to be honest. And turrets have always been very since the release of the game. Turrets have been very problematic. They never target what you want them to target half the time. You got to put it in X3 terms for you. Yes, small would be the M3. The medium class would be like the M4, and the 5 would be. Oh God, what was the 5? I think 5 was a frigate, so the 5 would be like an L, basically. And the XLs, the big ships, are basically carriers. There's not really the many XL battleships that are at least not not modded, I should say. Yeah, the M designations were always kind of a pain in the ass. That's why I'm like, huh. Oh, I just rammed into that asteroid. Basically, the S's are the small fighter, dinky little fighters. The M's are the medium-class heavy fighters. And then the L's are the, like, frigates, which would be something like the Minotaur, essentially. If I recall correctly from X3. Or the, what was the Corvette? I think it was the Corvette. God, it's been so long since I played X3. F. Yeah, so the S's would be the M4s, the mediums will be the M3s. There are technically M5 scouts, which are classed as S's as well, so the lighters and scouts are kind of classed in the same way. They're just, you know, not used as much because they're kind of useless. Unless I added a mod as well that makes scouts a little bit more useful. It essentially increases their sensor range by 50%, you know, making them actually scouts. M6 Corvette is basically your L class, and when it comes to carriers and destroyer, default-wise, there's not really too many M2s. They're all basically classified in the same kind of extra-large preset, per se. But yeah. And the thing that kind of really bugged me, I guess, was that the M6 and essentially M1 variants or M2 variants of the ships when this first launched were basically just a larger version of the exact same ship with a little bit more shields, a little bit more hull. So the ship variety when this first launched was really poor, which is why I picked up the pack here that added a whole bunch of extra stuff in. And I've been debating adding in the VRO and Rise of the Asaurian Raiders, which adds in additional factions and stuff like that. I might do that after the release of Cradle of Humanity, though. The newer expansion coming out here. Just because I want to get all that basically the official content before I add in that extra bit. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Uh-oh. Oh, no, we're fine. Yeah, there really wasn't that many. But with that's exactly why I picked up the pack, because it adds so much more variety to it, honestly. And I also used the balancing mod, the balanced version of it, so it makes it so that the ships are a lot more balanced towards vanilla, and not just ridiculously overpowered, even though this one kind of is. Mostly because it has the guns on this thing have a bit more range than theirs do. So I can just kind of sit out here at 9 kilometers away and let them wail on them. I loved how you could find special prototypes, etc. Well, one thing that you can do... Yeah, the Heavy Centaur, oh, that was always nice. Oh, the Hyperion. I love the freaking Hyperion. But yeah, the one thing that you can do here in a way, although you can't really find too many special prototypes per se, you can actually, if I go on to, I think ship information might do it? Or no. I'm not sure if this is per ship or what. It might just be by default. So basically you can create certain modifications that allow you to increase certain things like weapon damage and such. So you can basically create like random modules. You would think like kind of like a Borderlands style random weapon in a sense, or random upgrade. So you get between this and this % damage, as well as some additional effects and so on. Executioner, if I go all the way down to, we have the Annihilator here, which is 6.20 to 34.80 additional weapon damage and up to 3 additional properties. And so same thing for the Obliterator. Now the interesting thing here, actually I almost have enough for this. I just need 2 more and I can have one. I can actually get this. The one thing is, I don't know if this is per ship or what. They can be applied at a workbench, found at a shipyard, or equipment docks, yes. And they each have their own thing. There's weapon cooling, weapon reload, so you can customize it a bit. But yeah, the thing that I did though was you have to find... Yeah, it looks like it's for a single ship, indeed. You have to find different mods to use this, or different mods, components to build these. And the issue is that the best you can get them typically from Xenon and just a couple other ships and such randomly, but it's, you know, it's hard to really farm them in mass per se. The only other real good way to do so is by using the online venture feature, which essentially is you basically build a module on a station that allows you to send ships to other players' universes and potentially collect resources and mods and other rewards. But yeah, which unfortunately I can't use because I'm obviously modding the game, which makes it yeah, unusable, sadly. So because I don't have access, and that's popping up again, let me disable that quickly. Let's just switch you to offline. There we go. So because I can't access that way of gaining those mods, I essentially installed, again, another mod, or an extension, I should say. Extension. English, apparently, is terrible for me. That allows me to basically craft up to the different mods. So, for example, if I have 3 of the low-class mods, I can then craft it with different resources to create a high-class mod. Likewise, if I have 3 high-class mods, I can take that and some rare ingredients to create the peak, or, you know, ultimate class mods. Now, there is a second version of that that allows you to... Like, at the moment, I don't have the second version of that allows me to craft basic mods. It's just I have to find those, but, you know, I've been debating on doing it. I really should, but hey. Anyway, we were on number 3. Let us continue. Tater trade. Check distance. Shipbuilding wares. Zyarth. Let's go ahead and change you. To there. Confirm, that's number 4. Let's start spreading these out a little bit more. No. Okay, gave him a seminar. Hopefully I'm not running too low of those. Unfortunately, these guys tend to die very, very easily, which aggravates me to no end. Check the distance. They also like to... this is one of the things... Again, the AI tends not to be super great. Welcome, Cadman, by the way. Are mods allowed on capital ships? Good question. I actually have absolutely no idea. I've never even actually installed the mods because I've always waited to get good mods and then just never bothered to install them. So to be completely honest, I don't know. But I really should try.
Can I help?
There we go. Meow. Alright. It's fine. Shipbuilding wares. Trade ban. Patriarch confirmed. Can I help you, Mr. Adorable? My cat just wants all the attention right now, I swear. I mean, he always wants all the attention. What am I saying? That's just how he is, which is, you know, fine. Shipbuilding, trade bans, patriarch. But yeah, the AI tends to have its issues in the sense that if you flew into a sector and saw that there were Xenon warships, would you A, turn around and run away, B, fly around them and still get to your destination, or basically change course and still make it to your destination, or C, fly directly towards them because they're sitting right next to the gate and die? Which option do you think the AI typically does? Do they turn around and immediately F off, change their course, or pilot directly towards the enemy and just not change their course? If you chose pilot towards the enemy and not change their course, you are correct. So yes, unfortunately the AI does not properly take into account simple things like, hey, that is a gigantic enemy battleship with, you know, like 30, 40 guns on it. I should probably not fly towards it. No, instead they like to fly directly towards stupid shit like that and then get instantly fucked. Which is incredibly aggravating because you spend quite a bit of money on these ships, and then they go and do stupid shit like that, and you're just like, well, why did I waste my money on this? And that's generally the issue, you know, that's just the main issue that these games have had, is that your ships lack... Pilots in general seem to lack a sense of survivability. They're not trying to dodge and run away, they just kind of go in and die. If you have your own shipyard, the shipyard will automatically apply any mods that you have acquired to all vessels constructed at said shipyard. In addition to this, NPCs automatically mod their ships as parts become available. Really? Oh, that is sexy. Then I should probably start producing mods because I have a shipyard. Oh, that kind of annoys me a little bit. But I never did that. Thank you. Appreciate that, mate. So yes, thank you, Apt, you fantastic fellow. So that is going to be real damn nice. So in that case...
Go ahead. Make my
Hey,
day.
thank you for the follow, fantastic fellow. Weapon damage. Well, let's go ahead and actually go to the dock then. Well, are we done destroying this thing yet? No, let's go ahead and power forward. So we will finish destroying this, because then once my admin center is constructed, I think that means I'll take over the sector. Oh yeah, you can see all this stuff going on down here. This is them basically, and this is actually a feature that I love about this mod. So if I go into, and actually look at all these ones still sitting there that I have to give objectives. So if I actually go into my transaction log, or not transaction, sorry, my logbook, it'll actually tell me right here, Hermes Sentinel B5 spent 85,000 credits and will sell them with a bonus of 112 credits. So he basically bought that many wafers at 180 and should sell them at 418 and earn a profit of 112,000 credits. So that is a, basically a 1 to 1.5 profit. Right here we have a 2 to 1 profit on antimatter converters. Miners sold Navidium for 366,000. Same thing, another 2 to 1 profit there. 2 to 1, 2 to 1. So antimatter converters are definitely very popular right now. About 1 to 1, which is not terrible still. Same thing here. We got a 3 to 1, which is, again, still not terrible. Unlike Claytronics, which would be 8 to 1 or 8 to 2. Looks like we have enemy fighters approaching us because the point defense guns are engaging. And there was actually a issue with the, I think it was patch 4 of this beta, 4.0 beta, in which the turrets were horribly inaccurate against large targets. So they were missing, like, they were actually going through the gaps of stations and missing. Like, all of their shots would go directly through that gap and miss every time, and it was just aggravating beyond belief. So right now, at the top right here, I can also see I have 9 million worth of 9 million credits due from trades right now, which is pretty good. Sounds like the AI depends too much on their technology. Yeah, pretty much. Which is not good. Now, there's actually a lot of things that got added in recently as well. One of the main ones being terraforming is going to be getting added in as a feature here real soon, and is actually available right now for testing in this beta branch. I just need to unlock certain bits of teleportation, and then we'll have access to doing that. Oh. Is that thing still there? If it's still there, I'm going to have to go deal with that. I might even send the fleet in to deal with that. Because there's a Xenon fleet in that damn sector, and it's been killing a lot of my ships. Because the idiots love to pilot through that sector and just die. Yeah, they still have that freaking... it's a Branch 9 destroyer... Wait, a Q? Excuse me? A Q. That's a rare one. That is a rare one. Usually you will see I's, you will see K's. You almost never see a Q. Wow. Like, for real, I've never seen... I haven't seen them produce one. I forgot these existed, is how rare these fuckers are. I completely forgot it even existed. Right, let me send my ship over towards that so I can kind of check that out. We'll pull this guy back and just kind of F about. Where is my ship? Here he is. Okay, I'll order him to go there. Currently getting assaulted a little bit here. Oh, looks like the turrets are doing quite well, though. And that was the thing as well, like, the turrets were just terribly inaccurate. And now they've improved a little bit here. Alright, let's deploy a couple of I don't have many left, but let's deploy a couple of laser towers. The defense drones are armed. I like how they're only sending out like 3 defense drones at a time. Is it just a matter of... Let me check something here. Do I just not have enough crew for that? No, I do have a lot of service crew, actually. So, it's not affected by that. There we go. Laser towers are doing their job. Go laser towers. I'm proud of you. As the updates trickle down to 3, 4, I've noticed that my turrets are shooting above the capital ships. Oh yeah, that's exactly what the problem was, Amped. But they fixed that, actually, it seems, with the Beta 5 update. Or, sorry, yeah, Beta 5 patch, I should say. Or Beta 4 patch 5. That would be more accurate. God, wording, I swear. One of the things in there was that they fixed turrets' issues targeting large objects. Basically ships and stations. Because yes, as you say, player turrets were basically missing almost constantly for large ships, but Xenon ships were like on point accurate when it comes to like wiping out your guns and just absolutely decimating you, which was incredibly aggravating. But that does seem to have been fixed with that update, so that's so far so good, basically. Because you can see how accurate these are actually hitting. Like, beforehand, these would have never actually hit these damn defense drones. Or even, like, it would be missing the station completely, because it was hitting for a center of mass, which would completely miss all shots. Like, it was sad how many shots would miss. It really was. But they have seemed to improve somewhat for that. I've looked for targeting mods, but they don't exist. Like, one thing that I would love to see is just let us manually aim some turrets. Like, if we can switch turrets to different modes, like you can see on the left and right, I have several different modes that I could potentially fire, and then just let us, give us like several different reticles, kind of like a, like say a World of Warships style thing, where if I aim to the left, the turret will aim over here and just fire that way. If they can't aim to the left, then they kind of do their own thing, and so on. That kind of targeting reticle would be nice. Unfortunately, they don't do that quite well. Haven't been in combat in one of my battle cruisers for at least a couple of days, and 3.4 of that patch has not been applied as far as I can tell. I'm not sure which patch it was. Let me check here. Yeah. Xenon X4 4.0 Beta Update 5 released, which was the one here. They added terraforming, they added new hostile relation status on the map. So basically, if I go into player information, factions and relations, I can declare war on different factions. I'm not sure if it's on the map that becomes... Let's check the map here. No, I don't think it was on the map. Because I know there was a new setting. Other filters, perhaps. Alerts, show faction colors. Highlight visitors, which would be if you're using the online functionality. No, that's not it. Actually, hold on a second. Was there maybe something over mission manager? No, it's not any of those. Personnel management. No, not quite. Global orders. I don't remember which one it's under, but basically you are able to set how aggressive your ships will be to different factions. And I can't for the life of me remember where that's under. Transaction log. Whatever. Huh. Organization name, logo. Oh yes, I meant to actually oh yes, the logo, haha, it did get ported. Fantastic. Right, we have a new logo on the ship. Let's do that. Let's see here now. I cannot see the logo on this ship. That is a shame. Oh well. But it is up here, which is fantastic. I love it. I actually had a friend of mine do that for me, which is just fantastic. Police authority, which we have in one sector, so basically I can tell it which wares are illegal in that sector. At the moment, I'm gonna, you know what, let's add space fuel and space weed as legal goods in my sector. Just because, why not? Gives me something to do. Venture ships, which we have none out right now, obviously because we can't. Current net worth is 1.5 billion ISK, or billion credits. I keep saying ISK, which is not the right word, damn it. Oh, jeez. I'm not running the beta. I didn't join betas because I don't want to write up massive bug reports. Well, you don't have to write up bug reports for it, but it's helpful to, you know, do things like that. The main reason why I actually opted into the beta, per se, was because I had a series going on this for a long time. I had basically 6 days worth of progress on my save file for that series, and then I unfortunately had save file corruption. And every single time the game saved, even after deleting the game, reinstalling the game, literally everything I could do, it would still have save file corruption. Every new save would delete, you know, or basically it would corrupt the new saves, regardless of what I did. So I was basically screwed. I had to end it there. It just was real bummer, per se. But luckily, when the new patch came out, I upgraded to it, and it just randomly fixed the save file corruption, so we were able to continue because of that. So that is the main reason why I'm using this. And also, it's nice just to have the newest, shiniest features for that. Alright, Doc and Sane, you have yourself a fantastic one, good sir. But yeah. But yes, let's go back to some of the interesting new things that were added here, shall we? Let me actually just go back to this here. So, the hostile relations indicator. Status on map and HUD indicate which objects with combat is likely. Shortcut to the research menu, logbook to the object information, a bunch of different stuff for that. So the terraforming was added. The new accounting booklet, I believe, was one of the things that was main things that was added. With terraforming, it's essentially after you've researched a certain amount of basically the teleportation. When you've gone through the entirety of the teleportation tree, you will unlock a new one that you're able to research. I believe it's like mass teleportation or large teleportation, something like that. Which, when you unlock that, you and have a ship yard, like a basic S&M class wharf attached to your player HQ, you unlock the ability to take on terraforming missions, which are considered basically a kind of an end game mission that you can just pump a lot of resources in. Now, they are looking into basically making it so that you will get, like, minor rewards. Just making sure these are my defense drones flying around and not chimeras. So, they're looking at different rewards that you could potentially achieve for doing this, but it's mostly meant to be a kind of a, it's not like it's going to be a new economy established there, per se. Like, they're not going to want demand supplied to them. All trade operations completed. Good for you. Oh, nice. We got a prized investor. You will now be treated as an ally among the Antagon Republic. Oh, lovely. Fantastic. Good job, fellows. Good job. But yeah. So it's basically meant just to be an end goal for the fun of it, per se. But they're also thinking of giving you some rewards for doing it, whether it's skins or obviously achievements and what else. Remains to be seen. But basically what happens is you take a terraforming mission for example, let's say Xenon Sector 9, perhaps, is where the terraforming mission takes place. At which point, the player HQ will actually teleport to that new location, and you will begin to basically feed resources into the thing in order to slowly terraform the planet. It'll add buildings, and you'll actually visually see the planet terraform slowly over time, which is really freaking good. It's going to be really, really cool. We won't actually be able to land on the planet or interact with it too much other than that. But still, it would just be a really, really cool thing to see, and I'm really looking forward to that. Regardless. But yeah. Other than that, there was a bunch of other additional things, which of course are also going to... The terraforming might be attached... Actually, no. I think the terraforming is also going to be part of the free update, as will a lot of the other bits. The Terrans obviously won't be. You will need the expansion in order to go see the lovely Terrans. Is that queue still alive? I want to take a look at that quickly. Because I'm very, very intrigued by that queue. Oh, my ship is there, but the queue is not. Well, that's a shame. I'm assuming it got destroyed. Yeah, it got destroyed. Well, that's a shame. Oh well, we'll have to check it out later. Hopefully we'll find another one, because damn, that would have been nice. But yes. Let me see the other, like, main... Oh, nice. We got some actual fighters coming our way now. Let me double check what the other, like, main features were for this that got added, because I always seem to forget. I'm super pumped for the new DLC. I'm not sure whether my collector's edition of the game entitles me to it. I believe it does, yes. Because I also did get the collector's. But I'm pretty sure if I even... Let me take a quick look here. Store page. Please, store page. The collector's edition. The collector's edition comes with everything. It comes with all expansions, the soundtracks, as well as the extra content, which, yeah. The first 2 expansions is what you get access to with the yeah, so you're good. You are good for that. All right, let's see here. So the other main things that it added was the coordinate attack option for fleet commanders, volumetric fog, which is actually quite nice. It just makes the space look a lot better. The messaging system for important communications to NPCs. So basically, they expanded the messaging, message folders to make it a bit more separate, so you're not losing what NPCs say to you in the giant list of things that kind of get sent to you. You can mark ships as hostile in the interaction menu in case a pirate attacks your ships, kind of flies off, and then goes neutral again. You can basically flag him as hostile. Fire authorization overrides, which basically controls how your ship should attack other factions, how they should treat other factions. I just don't know where the hell it is. You have an interaction menu option to claim abandoned ships with player-owned ships, so you don't have to do it your damn self anymore, which is good. There are escort missions. They added area damage to the capital ship engine exhaust, which isn't that high right now, to be honest. They should probably boost that a little bit more, because otherwise you can still kind of get behind them very easily and just blow them away. Even my dragon can get behind there with his one dinky shield and do that. Contested sector information, shield recharge delayed info. So a lot of different stuff got added to the encyclopedias. A whole bunch of stuff got added. If I scroll all the way down here, yeah, they improved Koch presence and behavior multiple times. Laser targeting, capital ship combat movement, which is obviously important. Account management menu was improved. Balancing of mining activities was improved. Let's see, where's that one? Capital ship subordinate behavior. Let's see, where was that one? Improved disengaging from combat response to relations with the target changing. They improved bailing of crews in NPC versus NPC cases. Improved, they improved all the main mission stories a little bit. Oh, looks like a section got blown up there. Where was it? There was something on here for the turrets, and I just cannot see it right now. Maybe it's in... Oh, it's in the fixed, that's why. I'm blind. I need to scroll down one more. Yes. Fixed turret aiming against large targets, which was a huge issue. Fixed aim prediction for weapons on rotating objects, so basically the same thing. Playstyle is industrial mining and mass production, so my empires grow very fast at the point where I'm now. There's a constant stream of updates in the corner, basically never stops. Exactly, so you can filter this out a little bit. You can see I have one important message waiting down here. Right, once this station is basically destroyed, we're gonna go do some other things, perhaps. And it does feel cheesy doing this, honestly, just kind of sitting out of range of the damn thing and slowly destroying it. I mean, they do send fighters and such to stop me, but they don't do a very good job. But it's one of those things where it's like, I really wish I could just send fleets against this thing, but they don't live long. I literally sent 2 comets, so 2 L-class battleships almost, or, you know, at least cruisers I would call them, and they just died. They died within like 10 seconds. Which is just pathetic. Like, capital class ships die way too quickly. Way too quickly to the Xenon, at least. They also kind of die that quickly to each other. So there's not really any interesting, like, ship-on-ship basic fights. It's a matter of simply volume. If you have more ships than the other guy, you're more likely to win. It's just throw more bodies at the problem, is basically how that's resolved. Yeah, you would sit back, you would peck at the enemy out of range. Exactly, but the AI doesn't do this. The AI charges directly into the enemy guns, sits there, and dies. That's why I can't use them, which really bothers me, because I was, you know, I mean, the X series has always had an issue with its combat AI, to be honest. And that's one thing where it's like, I really would hope that they would improve on that. I mean, considering this is all that they've been doing for the last, like, what, 15 plus years? God, when did X2 come out? Like, literally, they've designed their own engine based around, you know, being this kind of game. So one would hope that they would find a way to improve the AI's combat capabilities. Like, make it so that the stars matter. As it stands right now, pardon me for a second, I gotta actually blow my nose here. Excuse me, kitty, please don't. I love you. Ow, but don't. Let me just mute this for a second here, pardon me. There we go. But yeah, you would hope that they would have found a way to make it so that they would have, you know, they would interact more interestingly in combat. Like, give them, as they get higher, you know, piloting skill, make it so that they have dodging capabilities and such. Or act in a better way when it comes to using their torpedoes and so on and so forth. But yeah, no. If you are signing waypoints around the station, trying to attack just outside of 5 km range, they will not be able to attack you, but the ships will just sit there circling and bombarding it. Yeah, that's one way to do it, potentially, but when you're laying down the waypoint, it's hard to make sure that they're going to be at the same level, per se. Huh. Oh god, no. No. There was a lot more X games than that. There was, oh god. X Beyond the Frontier, there was X2, X3, and I'm not even including the expansions in this. X Rebirth, X4. So yeah, there's been a lot of games. Let's get all of our guns on this thing so we can just annihilate it and move on. Finally. But you can see how all the shots are now accurately hitting. If it had been before when I was moving like this, they would all be missing. All of them would just be missing. Yeah, main series. X2, Fanatic. The one thing I really loved about X2, which kind of somewhat applies to this one now as well, and was that X? No, not so much for X Rebirth. No, definitely not X Rebirth. But this one was essentially, in order to dock with some stations, you actually have to fly inside of it, which is somewhat what you do now on this one as well, and I absolutely love that. Alright, this should be dead real soon here. We're already at 11%. I should probably get the other traders going here. An XK with a fighting robot. Jeez. And of course there's also XVR. Or Rebirth VR, I should say. But we don't talk about that one. Okay. We have a lot of you guys ready to go right now. I should probably start getting you assigned to something. You know what? Let's just straight up go in here and start naming these guys. I'm actually gonna hit. Oh, not by anything drastic though. I've reacted for a second there. There was also, when this game first came out, one of the things that it was basically emphasizing was that rather than previous X games, which would just be spawning units kind of all over the place that would kind of populate the galaxy, ships in this game actually have to be produced. So if you were to wipe out all the shipyards in the universe other than your own, you could basically kill off all the ships, was basically what they were kind of aiming for. Now, that's not entirely how things turned out. You still do get ships spawning in. But overall, that is generally how things populate the universe, which is quite nice. And one thing that did disappoint me was I was hoping for a lot more interesting, like, storyline missions and... and actually, that was the biggest... Honestly, that was the biggest thing that they, personally, I feel they screwed up when they released this game, was they basically decided that instead of having an overarching kind of story, and welcome Rage Plague, rather than having a big overarching story to kind of lead you into the game, you know, pull you into the universe, they basically just instead decided to go for, you know, some Civil War stuff with some minor missions kind of thrown in there to keep you... Oh, I messed that one up. There we go. Rename. There we go. That's that 10. So yeah. So instead of having a nice big overarching story to kind of pull you into the universe and get you invested in it, and then kind of, you know, sandboxing it from there, they basically straight up kicked you out into the sandbox. It was like, here's a whole bunch of generic missions that are all kind of the same. Hey, thank you for the follow there, Swiftfire. Appreciate it, mate. They created a whole bunch of missions that were basically the same kind of thing. Oh, you raided? Oh, thank you for the raid, good sir. Welcome. I just realized it was a raid, not a follow. My bad. I should probably change the sound effect for each of those, but, you know, it's just a classic that I love. But welcome, good sir. But yeah, the basic missions were kind of meh, to be honest. I mean, you would basically spawn a ship in the universe that was surrounded by mines, fly over, destroy the mines. There was... The trade missions were kind of... You as well, good sir. You... Or a good night, I should say, since you're probably heading out at this point. The trade missions had issues at times because it would be something like, I want you to trade 10,000 units of food source or food stuff in this sector. Only problem is, none of the damn stations wanted food stuff. So it's like, why are you giving me a mission to, you know, sell food stuff to this place if they don't have a demand for it? Because then that mission has to sit there for a long time. Anyway, let me go ahead and start assigning these guys. Likewise, I was very disappointed with the initial kind of guild missions, because they were basically the same darn thing. It was just a chain of the regular boring old missions, and it never really felt like you were actually helping with the war effort, per se, all that much. Which is a shame. And even when it came to, like, the new, like, main, well, quote-unquote main story missions for, like, the Split and the Paranid and such, they were basically exactly the same. It's like, go and do a few interesting missions for us, then give us stuff, then buy us an entire damn fleet, then give us more stuff, Now we want 400 million credits, and then so on. Like, literally, I have a mission for the Paraded right now to supply them with a fleet. And the ironic thing is, when I did that for the split, when I supplied them with basically the Rebellion fleet, I produced, spent 200 million credits to give them a goddamn Rebellion fleet, and what did I get for it? Nothing.
The ship is being scanned.
Nothing. I didn't get a goddamn thing. And not only did I not get anything, but when that faction moved out into the world and took over stations, I started at neutral reputation with them. I gave you your Rebellion fleet, and you start me off with neutral reputation. Okay then. It's like I should be the God Emperor of the split, but no, you start off with neutral reputation. I don't even know what to say. And now they basically want, in order to finish off their storyline and basically make it so they're now a complete faction in the universe, I have to give them 400 million credits. And I'm basically right now like just sitting there giving them the space finger, because I'm just like, hell no, I got a whole lot of other things that I would rather spend 400 million on than you assholes. Literally the only reason why I'll eventually do it is for the achievement. Right, let's go ahead and get this going here. Oh, what the hell? That was not supposed to do that. Let's go ahead and start that up again here. So Grand Exchange is fine. 8 sectors, check distance. So this, for those that just joined in, is actually a trade mod that I use rather than using the default trade system, because I think the default trade system is kind of crap. There's no real way to just buy a trade ship and build up on it. You have to train pilots, which unfortunately for the longest time was incredibly damn difficult. You basically had to buy like small S-class scout ships and then just tell them to revisit stations over and over and over again, and that's how they raised their skill. But even then, like, I waited 24 hours plus on the save file, and they just barely they actually didn't even level up their skill at all for the longest time. My auto miners are still stuck on flying. Yeah, a lot of the AI tends to do that at times, which is kind of annoying. Right, you're going to go for station building wares, which means, unfortunately, you're going to want to trade Claytronics. Sigh, but I'll let you do it, even though that's literally all you're going to try to trade, which will not be earning you much money. Okay. Enable the trade bans, good to go. Information. Because with the default trade system, you have to have a minimum of 2 stars to distribute wares, and literally all that allows you to do is select one ware, and then have them buy it in one sector, 1 or 2 sectors, and trade it in 1 or 2 sectors from where they're at, which is just meh. And even the auto trade only adds a couple more that you can trade, so it's like, just no. Right, unfortunately you don't have enough skill, my friend, so here, have a seminar. Oh, and of course now it chooses to autosave. Fantastic. Pardon me. I actually don't have too many auto miners. Most of the ships that I have, I think I have like technically 3 auto miners right now for Navidium. Just one medium and 2 L class. Yeah, I think so. Pardon me. Oh god, I'm dying now apparently. That I pretty much just captured. And they're set to automatically mine and trade within a certain range for Navidium. Other than that, I think I have maybe 1 or 2 other auto miners, but other than that, the rest of my miners are all literally supplying stations for, well, my personal stations. If you build the equipment docks, 1 or 2 in each non-hostile race area, I find it much more beneficial to just assign a ton of traders to those stations as subordinates. That way you don't have to worry about them, and they just make money. Oh, that's actually another good option of doing that, too. By using the vanilla, I should say. Kitty. You are such an adorable pest, I swear. Fine. Fine, you little bratty lap cat, you. Do whatever you want. Except whacking my damn keyboard with your tail, because That usually does very, very bad things. And I would really rather that not happen. Thank you. Check distance, crank it up to 3. Remove legal wares, add in station building wares, trade bans, Zyarth Patriarchy, confirmed. Ow. Thank you for clawing my face. I appreciate that. So much I appreciate that. Alright, let's go ahead and change the sector here for this guy. Let's go Argon Prime as your quote-unquote home sector. Check the distance. Shipbuilding wares. I can also go through and individually tell them, hey, only do these wares. But I like to just use the presets. It makes life easier. But the thing with building the equipment docks as well is you need to have the initial funds to actually do that, though. Let's go with that. There we go. Confirmed. Information. We'll put you down here. You need a book, my friend. Enjoy. Here, have a seminar on piloting. Piloting 101. Lesson 1. Don't fly directly into Xenon fleets. This is the only lesson you need to learn. Enjoy. Even though you'll promptly ignore it, just like 90% of other schooling. The moment you head out the door. Confirmed. Select. Yeah, you gotta make sure. Let's see. Assigning mining ships to stations will also make some work a lot more efficiently. Doesn't get them working, then tell them to dump their cargo and mine something else. Yeah, pretty much. Like, I have a lot of issues with station miners. They tend to not really do their proper job, per se. Like, I've had them mine resources that are not even supposed to be collecting for their station. It's like, what are you doing? Why are you filling up your cargo with crap that you're not supposed to? I don't know. I just kind of shake my head and move on, honestly. It's one of those things where I'm just like, ugh. They're flying around like morons and not even mining. And obviously they're in a sector that has the materials. They're just not choosing not to do it. I wonder. I would obviously go through the obvious list of, yes, they have the mining tools and so on. You just watched the cargo space increase? So yeah, they did. They did finally do their job. Because it does take them time to travel around as well, but they shouldn't take forever to do it. I think I'm slowly starting to lose my mind here. I'm surprised I actually haven't run out of seminars yet. I must have gotten quite a few. Or bought quite a few. Alright. Check distance. Station building wares. Trade ban. Patriarch. Confirmed. We're down to finally the last bloody one. Ah.
Can I help?
Long last. Check the distance. So basically this means that they will check how many gates they go through and add a penalty for each gate they have to go through to what they were basically going to be selling the product. And done. Whew. And even after all that, I still literally have, like, what? Another 10 ships to assign. But I'm not going to do that right now, because that's enough of that being done for now. That is enough of that. Alright, let's go head on over to the fleet and see how my other stations are constructing. Or just take a peek at all the various stations, I should say. This way.
Empty space.
To the left now. What was the message I actually received? Oh, yes. Antigon Republic Ceremony, Promotion Ceremony Invitation. Ah, yes, I should probably get to that eventually. Right, let's go ahead and boost our way out of there. And away we go. There is actually one ship that I really want to get as well, which I think is one of the Clarinet ones. Oh god, this is going to be flying like crazy. I should probably see if I can tweak what's getting shown on here. Because otherwise it's going to spam me like crazy now. Constantly with just stuff being bought, stuff being sold, stuff being bought, stuff being sold. I have 14.7 million due in trades now. Now if I go to my account management, how much have I earned? Let's just accept all estimates here. So that's 1.8 million, 700,000, 2.9 million, 2.4 million. So quite a bit of money. Obviously, the defense platform isn't earning many money. It is literally a giant defense platform. That is the entirety of its the meaning of its existence. It is just to sit there and deal damage. I would love for any I's and K's to try and assault that thing. Just watch them get absolutely torn to shit. Oh hey, it looks like the Millennium's actually here. I did have it actually trade some resources to this thing in order to give it a head start.
Autopilot. Engaged.
Let the autopilot try and take me there if it actually can. Let's actually plan the build here then, see how she's looking. So, they still don't have enough for the admin. I don't know why. Looks like we need energy cells. We have more than enough. Claytronics is not the greatest, so we need hull parts. Hull parts is probably a major one, so hull parts, advanced electronics.
Autopilot.
Good enough.
Disengage.
So hull parts and advanced electronics. Let's get you to work on that. Claytronics are good for now. Energy cells are fine. Field coils are fine. Let's go. Filters. Trade filters. Add aware. We want hull parts. Also shield components would be nice. And okay. Yeah, they're buying a lot of that. Actually, my station over here does produce some, but I don't think they have a lot to give right now. Yeah, they only have like 2,000, which is okay. Here we go. We have 9,000 right here, which is good. Oh, there's 6,000 over here. That should be plenty. Kitty. Please don't be a brat. I beg you. Please. Stop. Oh, so we already reached this capacity. Never mind. Transfer wares. Hull parts, which I think is actually more than it even needs, but whatever, it'll be fine. Alright. Let's take a look. Okay, that one's fine as is then. It'll do its thing. Wait, are they... Oh, those sons of guns. They're building a new defense platform. Well, we're not going to allow that to happen. Close that. Rattlesnakes, please go destroy that. Thank you. Just let me take a look at it first. Make sure that it's not... Doesn't already have guns, basically. Good. Good. They should be able to deal with that. I find having stations be self-sufficient, it doesn't matter whether they mine. The mine is mine. The wrong stuff because the station needs everything. Basically, that's what I like to do. Like, there's a little bit of a debate, per se, on whether or not you want to build individual stations or build a massive complex. But personally, I just like building complexes. That's just how I roll. I almost should go over there myself and make sure that thing gets destroyed. Like, right over here, we have the more complete version of my defensive station here. And actually, no, this one is complete, looks like. It's just missing a little bit more energy cells. And it's completely good to go. I mean, there's no pier here, which doesn't really matter. This isn't really meant to dock any big stations. This is literally an admin center with a massive defensive ring on either side. It is the hexagon of doom, pretty much. Each one of these has a hell of a lot of turrets on it, so literally anything comes near this and it will shred them. So actually, no, this is 100% complete now at this point. It just might need a bit more shield components and turret components, and field coils, obviously, to finish building the turrets. Anyway. We do have a couple other stations that are in production right now. Obviously, my wharf is doing wharf things. I should probably build some more chimeras while I'm at it. Yeah, sure, why not? Why not? Let's build some more ships. S-Class, Chimeras, Chimera loadout. Add to shopping list. Let's go ahead and produce another 100 of those. Actually, no, not 100. That's a bit too much here. Let's go... How about 50? Even 50. Well, you know what? Screw it. Let's build 50. It'll produce them over time. Would you stop fidgeting? Jeez, I swear. Yeah, they should be able to easily deal with that defense station themselves. I don't need to baby them for that. Okay. So the other factories that we are producing here, one of them we're actually not actually producing right now. I could probably get rid of the plot, but hey. So this guy right here, which I actually should probably rename this, but it's going to rename itself eventually. This one would be a engine part and hull part factory. So this guy is just going to be pumping out engine and hull parts. So antimatter cell, 4 refined metal, a graphene, all pumping into 5 hull and 5 engine part plants. With actual, what's it called? Brain function. Come on, you can do this. With actual worker capacity as well. Most of the other stations I have don't have a worker capacity. Both of these ones do. This one right here, which is a much larger kind of splayed out complex, is going to be making some claytronics, field coils, and advanced electronics. Are its end goals here. So likewise, we're producing literally everything. Plus, it will also have a workforce. I will need to create a additional supply factory. I don't know, this one is actually producing its own supplies, yes. So yes, it'll have medical supplies for the workers, field coils, Nostrop oil for some reason. Don't know why it's doing that. Do I need Nostrop oil for some reason? Apparently I do. Don't really know why, but apparently I do. Unless I'm forgetting something. I will have to recheck my build on that one. But hey. And the last one is literally just... Actually, it's gone now. Which is fine, because nothing was actually building there. Oh, did they actually get the... Oh, nice. They've just built the dock on this one. Good. So now I can get a manager over here. Oh, good. They just finished destroying that defensive platform. So right now, the sector is actually neutralized. We still do have to destroy the solar plants to completely wipe out the Xenon from this sector. But other than that, we should be good. One other very interesting thing that got added to the 4.0 beta patch, per se, was that sector information now contains resource amounts. So if you click on each sector there, you can see that this has 100% sunlight here. So we'll produce 100% of basic energy cells. It has 1.8 million methane, 1.5 million nevidium, 30 million ore, and 15 million silicon. Likewise, this sector has 317,000 hydrogen, 9.9 billion ore, and 7.8 billion silicon. If I go over to Animus Zura here... Actually, Animus Zura is really suffering, because it actually has less than even... They only have like 3,400 some helium, and 4,000 some methane, which is really bad. And I think helium is the one thing I actually... Helium and ice are the two things I really need from here, which really sucks. My HQ has a running cost of 6.5 billion credits. My HQ... What is my HQ's running cost? Let's see. It's 100 million. Which isn't terrible, but yeah, 6.5 billion? Damn, that is nice. Like, if I actually go into the build of this one, it's still obviously in progress, but, you know, it's got quite a bit to it. Energy cells is why this one is suffering right now, which is a problem. Apparently I need to add another one of these, which is weird. Huh! I can't believe it's actually suffering in the energy cell production, but whatever. It is what it is. That being the case, let me actually have... Since you guys are sitting here anyway... let's add energy cells and just have them quickly buy some for him. As aggravating as it is. 157. Okay, there we go. So there's actually like a shortage of energy cells in the area, which is freaking hilarious. All right, let's send you over here. Likewise, we'll have you do the same. I might have to set up a couple of these guys literally just to do energy cells, it seems. That should be fine. Or maybe it's just the fact that, for whatever reason, my production storage and build storage aren't properly transferring things to each other. I think that might be the issue. Because let me try this here again, because I know I did this before. Where I'm like... Yeah, because we have 23,000 energy cells. It's just that they're not using the ones that are inside here for whatever reason. Which is weird. Like the fact that you went with split architecture because mine's made of argon and Talati. I find most people just build with argon. It's nice to see someone take a different approach. Well, the main reason I'm taking a different approach on this, and I did use Talati, like, basically, habitation buildings, per se. But the main reason I went with a lot of the split buildings is because I started off using this playthrough started off using the Split Vendetta expansion. So yes, all of the like actual like connecting pieces are all split, which is quite nice. Obviously, I'm using Teladi L biomes just because I was planning on using the player HQ in this sector, and they're just more prevalent here. That's just how it be. Yeah, you can see right here, I've got 30,000 energy cells on the way, and yet it still won't take him. Which is weird. Very weird. I don't honestly understand why it's having these issues, but whatever. Whatever. Anyway, I digress. So literally all we're waiting for now is the administrative center to be built here, and then we're basically good to go. Let me accept the estimate on that, because we did bring resources to the station, which lowered our estimate cost. Is it constructing yet? No, we're still waiting on mostly field coils as well. I think we're missing a lot of. But Events Electronics was a main one. And hull parts, obviously, which we had none of. But he'll be on the way here soon with that. I suppose we should go start destroying one of the solar power plants.
Solar power plant.
Just to kind of get that over with. How are we doing with trades, actually? 11.8 million due in trades. Nice. And I still haven't even assigned all of my traders yet. Which is hilarious. But yeah, soon enough I'll have to be investing even further into the main HQ. I've always had a lot of issues, though, when it came to properly assigning stations with goods, because you don't, for example, you set up a self-sufficient station, and yet they still seem to have the issue of wanting to buy resources. Like, you're literally producing enough to supply the station, but yet they still want to buy resources to build the higher-end items because you don't have it produced yet. Which is kind of annoying, to be honest. Likewise, they tend to sell goods that you don't want them to sell, and it's always like, just no, stop, cease. There's also a lot of issues when it comes to your, basically, if you like disable all buying, disable all trading for that, so they don't do that. For whatever reason, your miners don't like to actually mine and supply the raw resources, which is just awkward as hell. So yeah, definitely a couple of issues which drive me a little crazy at times. But once you slowly iron out a lot of those, you're able to kind of get things functioning. It's one of those things where it's you kind of wish that it was a little, easier at times with setting it up and telling it, hey, I don't want you to buy any goods as it will be supplied by the station itself. Likewise, the operating cost for... Even though the operating cost is saying that, like, for example, the HQ is 100 million, it actually doesn't really have an operating cost because everything is being produced. Why would it have an operating cost? I mean, unless we're paying the workforce, but, who wants to pay the workforce? And that's another thing that really kind of irritates me a little bit, is that the workforce takes bloody forever to increase. And I actually noticed something here interesting as well. If I go into the information for the sector, there's a new little thing right here called the Workforce Availability Bonus. So in different sectors, like for example the one with the HQ, it has a 0% bonus to its workforce, which is kind of aggravating. I mean, we're literally only trying to hire 8,000 people. In a universe of probably billions or trillions of people, why are we having issues hiring? And as you can see, if I go to different sectors, 90% of the sectors are like a 0%, and then all of a sudden Argon Prime has an 852% workforce availability. What the actual hell? I mean, it has 8.5 million people, but still, what the actual hell? Apparently there's no population here, so nobody lives here. So I guess maybe it has to have a planet to have population. Right here as well, Holy Vision has a population of 5.6 million apparently. Or actually, no. I'm assuming that it would be... No, it's more than that, because these would be millions. So that's 100. So that's 5.6 billion people. Out of these 5.6 billion people, you would expect that maybe a couple of them would want to move, you know, to a sector to have a nice quality job at one of my factories. But no, of course not. There's another 7.1 billion here at a rate of 700%. Aggravating. And yet everywhere else, so ironically enough, Napilios' fortune has 3.1 billion people. God Realm of the Pyramid. So on, so forth. Like, it should never be just 0%. There should be ways that you can boost this. Ways that you can basically say, hey, you should come to my sector or to my factories in this sector. You know, I will pay you extra wages or something, or give you an extra Fruit Loop in your cereal. I don't know. Something to attract them to these sectors to actually populate my stations. Because God knows the HQ is just terrible for that. They should be opening fire soon, then I can slam on the brakes and go do other things here for a moment. Yeah, good enough. I made it to a full-blown city, and because for some reason I've become attached to the Argon over the years, always the first race I befriend, the result my population is largely Argon. I see. Now, like, if I go to my player HQ here, information, which actually I'd probably go to planets build, which would be easier. Let's just go overview. So if I go all the way to the right here for workforce, or to find the workforce, I only have, like, this station has been built for a long time, and the actual, like, habitats have been there for quite a while. And we are only getting 20 workers every 40 minutes. 20 workers every 40 damn minutes, and we're supplying them with basically everything they could possibly want. 20 people out of the billions of people in the surrounding sectors who can just go through a couple of gates to arrive here, literally a taxi ride from home, and yet I'm only getting 20 people every 40 minutes. Yeah. Let's see here. Let me actually... Of course. Let's see here. Let's see. How do I want to do this? Let's see. Yeah. So it's going to take something like 237 hours. 237 hours for this station to fill up. Yeah. So there needs to be some way to boost traffic into the different sector. Yeah, there's your playthrough right there. So basically, in the entirety of the history of this playthrough, probably, including the new expansion pack, this station will probably never fill up to its optimal number of workers unless they change something to spread out the workforce bonuses a little bit better. Or give us another way to basically boost that. Whether it's just by throwing money at it or what, yeah. And that is just an insane amount of time. Yeah, you can't transport them in there yourself either. If, like, you can't, there's no, like, transfer workforce as far as I know. I can't just build a station literally of habitats and spice and space weed and all that crap. And then just, you know, transfer frickin' people over with promises of additional space weed rations or something. They just, you can't transfer the workforce as far as I know. Oh good, they're finally firing a little bit, I think. Well, they're trying. They're trying very hard to fire. It helps if you have the correct food ration production plant equipped on said station. If you're building an Argon station, it must have an Argon food production facility. There are races use different food production facilities. Yes, I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure I have the correct one for them. I could be wrong. Mouse drop oil, medical facilities. Unless I didn't even build them food, that might be why. Sunrise flowers, let's see. Let me load up the good old station calculator here quickly. Agricultural goods. Maja snail production. Soja bean production, food. So we got, yeah, nos drop oil, soja husk, and then food ration production. Lottie food, which food for which race here to make sure. Food rations for the Argon, soja husks for the Paradid, and Nostrop oil for the Talati. Yeah, so I do have the correct one. I just accidentally deleted my water production. Whoops. Well, that's not good. So yes, we are producing the correct food. Because we have Talati L-class, what the hell, habitats in a Talati system, so one would hope that we'd be just swimming in Talati, but no, of course not. That'll wait 6 hours for my construction ship to build again. Oof. Oof. Ouch. That sucks. I actually did have to destroy one of the, or delete one of the hull production and components from my shipyard because it was misplaced. You have 4 ships trading for the builder right now, but they tend not to do their job very well, I find. Which is sad. Let's see. How's progress? Did the trader finally get back here yet? Still not counting down, so he still didn't get here. Where is my mega transport? Damn it. Also, the Kraken is done. I should probably call the Kraken over here to help me out. Call the Kraken! Come forth, Kraken. Join me in this endeavor. Let me disarm that for now. I'll have all of his guns attack all enemies. Just have him hold position when he gets here. Hopefully he won't move forward to attack like an idiot and die. But he probably will. That's just how they roll. There we go, put on the brakes for a second. Right, what was I doing? Ah, yes. I was releasing the Kraken. And also looking for my mega transport. He is currently at Tharka's Ravine. Looks like he's probably filling up his last... Yeah. He's doing one more trade, and then he's coming back to do the wear exchange, so he'll be back soon. Excellent. You know what? Ah, shit. I don't have any more 2-star piloting seminars. That's a shame. Oh, well. Yeah, I just find that when I set them to trade for the station, even like I said, for mining for a station, they just don't want to do it very well. Or so I find. I like how it's called the weird thing is this thing's called the Razorback. I never renamed it. It was called like a what was it? First of the line Alpha or something like that. And then it decided to change its own name, and I'm like, huh? Alright. Most of these boys are out earning me some good money. You guys are just kind of sitting around doing nothing. We got more chimeras in production, which is always good. First batch should be done soon. But yeah.
Something hit us. Confirmed.
Where was he under attack again? Bright Promise. If only I wasn't blind. $2,000 open market family ute. Oh, Bright Promise. Here we go. Ah, yeah, there he is. A Plunderer Phoenix Sentinel, actually. Ooh. I love capturing those. Luckily, it looks like the ship managed to actually escape, which is why I picked the Hermes Sentinel, because they actually seem to have a chance to escape, which a lot of the other vessels don't. Or so it seems half the damn time. Right. As for you, my friend, let's have you go back. You know what? I'll have you dock over here somewhere. Go dock at the equipment dock here, please. Thank you. Right. No, not you. No, no, no. What am I trying to do here? I just wanted to go to my account management. Accept all estimates. How are we doing? I gained another 1.4 million from the wharf. I lost a bit on the factory, but that's fine. Confirmed. Still money in my pocket overall. Another 13 million due in trades. Again, I still have to assign the other traders. They just gave me quite a bit of that, actually. Withdrawed 1.6 million. How much you want to bet? Let's take a look here. The guy who withdrawed 1.6 million bought Claytronics. Oh, he was actually destroyed. Well, shit. He didn't run away fast enough. Again, their dodging kind of sucks. So yeah, this one right here, you can see it's a 7-to-1 profit. So he's buying Claytronics at 700,000 and only getting 100,000 every run, which is kind of, by comparison to everything else, which is a 1-to-1 or 2-to-1 or even 1-to-1.5, sometimes even 1-to-2 or more. Yeah, Claytronics are like the worst. Whoa, crap. Like right here, perfect example. It's even less than that. They're buying Claytronics and they're selling it at just a ridiculously low price. You know what I'm going to do? Let's go in here again and delete that, because that's just, no. Claytronics are just bad. Claytronics are bad for business, unless you're producing them and selling them. No, that's literally all you're actually... But you know what? I'm not going to delete all of them then. Because literally that's all that those ones are buying is Claytronics. Which, I mean, they're still making money, but just not as much of it as I'd like. I guess I'll save that until the Kraken gets here. We don't want to wait too long here. So it'll be interesting to decide what I'm going to do after this, because eventually we're going to have to go after the Patriarchy, or wipe out a couple more Xenon, maybe help take back He Was Twin 1 and 2, and kind of force the Xenon out of there. But I want to get sectors that I actually have trade value to me, though, or mining, yeah, mining / trade value. And I'm not sure if those Xenon sectors do, or, well, former Tilati sectors do. And eventually we are going to have to complete the split and Paranid storylines too. At least before the, what the hell, Cradle of Humanity releases. So bare minimum we could probably complete the split one rather easily. We almost already have the 400 million again anyway. And then we'll be mostly good to go for that. Where's me damn Kraken? I want me damn Kraken. He be taking his sweet time. Oh, well. Oh, here we go. Here comes the Kraken. Here comes the Kraken. Well, this is a ship from X4, so they when they ported it over, they didn't really mod the bridge correctly on this one, sadly. So yeah, kind of sucks. Well, hello there, my friend. Are you going to stay at a good range and kill things, or, you know, move close and die?
Battleship.
Nice big old engines on this baby. Has some nice frontal cannons. Hopefully it'll actually use them and not just fly directly into it and die. Because even this thing right here, which is a XL class battleship, will probably die very, very quickly if it decides to fly too close to this sun here. As sad as it is. Oh yes, let's go ahead and activate your weapons. I like that each one now has a logbook as well. Turrets are armed, so example, let's go to one of the first of these guys we set up. Basic 1 here, good old B1. Information, logbook. So beforehand they didn't each have their own individual logbooks here. So it's quite nice that they do now. So you can see exactly how much they've actually made you overall. I wonder... I don't think I can individually see how much it's actually made, though. Profit-wise. Unless it's in here somewhere. I don't think it is, though. Yeah, it's not going to tell me what its total income was. Fire authorization override. So that is actually on here, too. So if I go... So it is a global order. I thought it was. So here we go. Yes, create new override. So right here, this is where the fire authorization override is. So like for the fallen families, I can say, be aggressive. Allow attacks on all military objects and civilian objects with a relation of 25... Yeah, minus 25 or more. Or below. Attack on all objects. Defend from civilian objects. Allows attacks on military objects with a relation of -20 or below. Defend only, the default. Let's go with chivalrous on these guys. The Kach, it's just ruthless. Attack all objects. Xenon, same thing, ruthless.
Awaiting orders.
The problem with this, the problem with setting the Patriarch, though, to aggressive, as much as I would love to do it, is that there's a issue when it comes to, are you actually firing back there, or you just kind of... Hurry up. The issue with setting my ships to basically attack any of the Patriarch state ships is that if we are in a different, like a neutral sector or even a friendly sector, say a Talati sector, if we attack their ships, or if, you know, the turrets on one of my ships attacks one of theirs, they get to report it to the local police force and basically punish me for doing that. Or punish me for my ships attacking them. On the other side of things, if they attack my ships in their space, you know, they don't get punished for that, which I think is a flaw, honestly, in that. It's like, if they're going to assault my ships, who are set to basically not attack, or be defensive, then they should get some kind of punishment for that, and they don't. Well, he is turning in the right direction, that's good, so we'll see how this works out. So I might be able to bring my other ships in and just manually kind of aim them in, which will make this go a lot faster. I should have done that to begin with, rather than telling them what to attack. Is just, it doesn't work. They just rush in, they die. It kind of pisses me off to no end. So if this works, I'll be very, very happy. What are the venture modules used for? They are essentially used, and this is if you don't have a modded game. Like if you, let me actually go ahead and save here while I'm at it. Like if you are going into your main menu here and you see this modified tag, you're kind of screwed. Literally all that the venture mode and being enabled will do for you at that point is you will start seeing, you know, mysteriously named ships just appearing in your universe. Which is essentially what the venture module is you're able to send your ships. It's an online feature that allows you to send your ships into other players' universes on missions in order to acquire resources. And mods, more specifically as well. So you're able to send them. It's very high risk. A lot of your ships will die regardless of what mods they have or how strong they are. So you will lose a lot of ships by doing it. But you can potentially get some good stuff from it. But generally speaking, it sucks that I can't use it. It would have been nice if they'd simply made it, hey, if you're using, if you're modifying the game, then you'll only be able to, send ventures to other modified clients. If they'd have done that, I'd have been very, very happy. Unfortunately, they did not. So if you are modding the game in any way that gives you this lovely modified tag, you're screwed. Basically. Which is a shame. It's a shame to get cut out of content like that just because you like to play the game a little bit differently than intended, per se. Now, that's obviously meant to balance it in a way because they don't want to send, overpowered ships to other players' worlds, or essentially like modded ships to other players' worlds that they don't have a mod for. So it then is some kind of invisible ship or potentially cause issues with the game. But a simple fix with that would have been, You can send modded ships to other modded players, you know, games, but only vanilla ships. How difficult would that be? But, yeah, sadly. Actually, are we even hitting this thing, or are these actually all missing?
Solar.
Oh, they appear to be hitting. Pretty sure we're dealing damage.
Battleship.
Oh, look, it's actually firing. Holy shit. It's a miracle. Now, will he actually get too damn close, though? That is the question. Shit. That's kind of annoying. Yeah, positioning this is kind of sucking a little bit. You know what? Just remove all orders. That looks good. That way he'll just sit there. Half the streams for me are buffering lately. I'm going to watch the VOD later. Alright, you have yourself a good one then, mate. It's nice being able to actually run this on my computer so it's not as laggy as it is when I run on the laptop. But at least on the laptop, it actually does perform better than one would expect. Considering I'm streaming on a laptop. But yeah, I'm running the Flagships mod. It comes with a very special Xenon battle cruiser known as the Xenon R. This thing comes equipped with a super heavy capital laser. It will one-shot your destroyers. Oh, Jesus. It will two-shot your carrier. Even my own battle cruisers, I have to stay at long-range skirmishes because if I get too close, it literally melts the ships. Oh, God. That reminds me of the, again, for those that love X3, once it got to a certain point of me playing that game, I could not play it anymore without a certain mod, which was the extended mod, which not only added a ridiculous amount of ships, new weapons, and all kinds of fun stuff, but it actually added an entire brand new universe as well, or at least layout for the universe. It even periodically unlocked like new sectors depending on certain things that would happen, which was quite nice. So that was definitely my top, #1 favorite mod for that game, hands down. Not to mention it comes with a real badass trailer too. So they just had such a great variety of ships, like giant missile capital ships that would just launch huge amounts of weaponry. You had actual like mobile factory, kind of like what we have not quite what we have on this, but still, like actual big mobile factories that would mine goods and produce stuff from that and so on. Like, there were just so many really, really cool ships on that. And one of them was like a capturable Kach ship, per se. So you could actually fire lasers, which was just super damn fun. If that one was... I'm trying to remember if I actually captured that one or if I force captured it just so I could fly around and have fun with it. But either way, it was really damn cool. Not to mention that they also improved the... oh, I should probably change the ship, or turn the ship here so they can actually fire properly.
Solar power plant.
That would help slightly. I could not play this game without Flagships mod. Now that I played it, I love it. Well, the one mod that I've been thinking of getting, which I probably won't get right now until after Cradle of Humanity, at least until after I played it for quite a bit, is the Rise of the Asarian Raiders, which adds in 2 new hostile factions to, I think, everyone in the universe, new ships, some new sectors, and so on. As well as, I might also check that one out too, because I do like good flagships. Like the one ship I want, because the Raptor is a beast in and of itself, but the one ship that I actually do want... 5 minutes until your water production is back. Nice. Just don't delete it this time. Is a Paranid capital ship. The Ouroboros carrier. I don't know if it was this one. I think it might have been. Because this thing is just turrets, turrets, and more turrets. The Executioner battleship, this is a pretty solid looking battleship, I will admit. It's got plenty of shields. It's a pretty solid looking battleship. The Thanatos, again, these are modded ones. Literally all that comes with this, I think, is like the Hercules, the Freighter, and then the Zeus, I think. Yeah, the Zeus. This is the default carrier for the frickin' parent. It just, look, isn't it sad? Isn't this just like a sad little thing? Barely has any turrets, doesn't have any like sexy main guns or nothing. It's just sad. And it's literally like a upgraded version of the Odysseus here. It's just a slightly larger, more beefy. It doesn't even have the main cannons that the Odysseus has, which is terrible. And of course the auxiliary for transporting just goods, which is meh. But yeah, I think it was the Ouroboros carrier here, which is just another big like gun platform. Actually, I think I did set up a system for this one. So we have 40 medium plasma turrets, 16 shards, which I should probably replace those because shards are useless. 12 L plasma turrets. It has 4 XL shield generators, which I would probably replace with Talati versions because why not? Yeah, the default capital ships in the game were just... They were not great. They were really not great. Just sad. Likewise, if I go for... Let's go for the Ministry here. Buy ships. The Ministry, let's go for the default ones here. Like the Phoenix Sentinel here was the default one. So this was the default L-class capital ship. If I go to the XL... I believe this was the other one. The Condor here was the other default one. It's, as you can see, it's just another version of the same damn thing and just does not look that great. Maybe it was even... No, this guy was one of the modded ones, yeah. And then, of course, the Kraken. The Stork Auxiliary. We have the Event Horizon Deep Gas Miner, which is quite a nice little gigantic ship, I have to say. Yeah, Deep Space Miner. But overall, a lot of them are just kind of disappointing. Like, these comets, they lasted like 30... Not even, like 10 seconds against the Xenon Wharf. Yeah, the super size of the super ship. Yeah, pretty much, exactly. It's just, when you have these different ships, it's nice to have a variety. Like, if you look at the split ships... You look at the Raptor and the Rattlesnake, they just have such a different profile to them. Let's go for these guys, the Argon. The Baylor. The Behemoth. Different L-class. They have a lot of L-class freighters here. These are all the mods. Modded ones. Behemoth Vanguard. Yeah, I believe it was this one was the default one, if I'm not mistaken. And then the XL, we basically had the Tanaris. This one's definitely from X Rebirth, this is a nice little capital ship. I actually really do like this ship. It's not super powerful, but it's just a sexy, sexy looking ship. So, although X Rebirth had its issues... X Rebirth had its issues. At least they had good ship design. The Tanaris, which... I know, that was the same one there. Yeah, the Colossus. This was I think this was the cap ship for them by default, which again, eh. Very eh. The Arawan, which is the absolute beast. And again, this was a extra berth ship. It also has a capacity of 80 S-Class ships and quite a few docks for them. It has 21 S-Class docks, 2 medium docks, so it can launch quite a few fighters at the same time. It is just, this is something I would definitely buy and use alongside my Raptor. It's just, it is a really nice ship. And then finally we have the Baimon Freedom Carrier, which is also a really nice little ship. I mean, the front cannons on this thing are very, very nice. Like, there's a lot of frontal cannons on this thing. So this is definitely one of the kind of park and let it just lay into things. Totally not a Battlestar Galactica ripoff, or I mean inspiration. Oh, BSG. Good times. Yeah, this is just the antimatter MK1s. Which again is a modded drive specifically for this ship only, probably. Extra large engines. Then the thrusters, of course, we go for like, let's see how much this thing costs if I go just ridiculous. MK1 capital class Argon shields. It has 1.6 million hull. Now the MK1 shields are kind of meh. I would replace those, honestly. But yeah, just huge amount of turret groups on this thing. This thing's already costing almost 100 million here. It's 71 million. Let's just go, all L's are going to be plasmas with MK2 shielding. Mediums are all going to be pulse turrets, because I just love the pulse turrets. They work quite well. They're fairly accurate, got good rate of fire. Actually, these are on the front too. No, these will be plasmas just because they're on the front here. Those are down below. These will be pulse. Auto repair. I like how they can actually load gas collector drones. That's hilarious. Give it a couple of laser towers and all that. So they actually almost have enough for this. It's 85 million to buy this thing, which is not actually bad. It's actually pretty decent. Let's get a couple of flares. Now let's go ahead and save this. Save as new, so it has 1.6 million hull, 517,000 shield, which is not that great, but we can replace those with high capacity Talatis if we wanted. And it is just, it is a beast. I love it. I mean, that's not even a massive price, honestly. Like if I want to buy, we're not gonna order that right now, but at least I have it saved. Is this thing dead? No, it's not dead. Why are you not dead? Why do you somehow have 100% of your hull? This is not allowed, sir.
Battle.
So I told him to attack. Hopefully he doesn't start taking too much damage as he literally moves into melee range pretty much. Do the AI empires expand and rebuild stations? Yes. Yes, they do. Actually, there's an interesting history to Xenon Sector 451 that I now own. Originally, I actually helped the Talati because I was basically, again, I was trying to raise my reputation with them again so I could buy their stations to help build my HQ. That being said, I needed to keep their station at Ianimus Zura alive. In order to do that, I had to keep wiping out all the I's and K's that kept pouring out of 451. They do expand their territory, yes. In order to do that, I basically helped them neutralize and well, they were building a lot of stations in Xenon Sector 451. I left for a bit, did my own thing, came back, and lo and behold, not only did they lose it, but the Xenon massively reinforced the damn sector. I was pissed because I lost like 2 damn rattlesnakes helping them, wipe out that system, and then they freaking lost it. I was not a happy camper with them. I was really not a happy camper. Like how all the other guys' shots are missing.
Solar power plant.
Yep. Like, for example, the Paranid are one of the ones that actually managed to heavily fight back against the Xenon. Or was it? Oh, yes. Faulty Logic 1. So they actually took over Faulty Logic 1 and have heavily reinforced it with multiple stations. This used to be a Xenon sector. And they actually have managed to neutralize Faulty Logic 7 as well. They haven't taken it over yet, but they have neutralized it. There's an inactive jump gate there. You have a Xenon shipyard and a wharf in that sector. Frontier Edge here, which I think was Argon, was somewhat wiped out. Likewise, the Talati actually took over the Patriarch space. So they actually managed to somehow take over here. The fact that they're not at war for this happening is kind of shocking to me. They should have 100% declared war. Likewise, the Patriarch used to own 11th Hour. I kind of helped the Argon here push them out, and then they took over. Because that was my main sector for harassing them and kind of stealing all the Patriarch ships, including the Raptor. And this guy right here that I own, which was one of his escorts. It literally took everything in the kitchen sink to capture that damn Raptor. I had to like reload the save at least like 8 times to capture that damn thing. I eventually threw the entire, not only all the Marines I had, but like every single, what was it? Even all the service crew. I literally threw all the service crew at them as Marines, and finally, at long last, it was barely enough. And they managed to capture the damn thing, because unfortunately I didn't have enough time just to call in more troops and, send more Marines, because the local Argon police force, or military force, did not like those ships being there, so they would always send their ships to basically wipe them out. And even if I left them at full health, they would still wipe them out, so, yeah. So, yeah. God, that was a pain in the ass. Anyway, we're already, almost at the 3-hour mark, so after this station is destroyed, I'm probably going to call things there for the night. We've already made hella progress here today, to say the least. This sector is basically already ours. Let's go ahead and move everything forward here so literally all our guns can just wail into this thing and finish this fight.
Last.
Unable to dock. That's unfortunate for you. Oh, looks like their dinky guns are able to hit me here. No, my friend. It's not destroyed yet. There we go. Let's just let the Seda slowly tear this thing apart. Some of my shots are missing, which is kind of annoying. Looks like the ship is finally attacking like it should bloody be. And this thing should be basically dead here in a second once this last one bites the dust. There we go. Now we're finishing this thing off completely. Ah, it's always a pain in the ass. And it's done. Fantastic. So literally all we have left now, and we actually now own the sector, so it looks like they did finally finish the administration dock here. Yep, they finally finished the damn administrative core. Looks like my shipment of hull parts had made it, and we actually, yeah, we do have excessive hull parts, so we can take those and send them elsewhere. Once this is done, they are currently... I find it weird that they managed to build this prior to the rest of it that connects to that. It's kind of weird, but whatever. So now they're just continuing on to build the defense platforms. And we'll just see how she goes from there. So then we will have this sector basically secured because that massive, that station should cover basically all of the traffic coming through here. Which will be quite nice. Speaking of which, though, I should probably also... I think I'll save it for next time. But next time around, we will focus on destroying the last of the Xenon stations in the sector. I will acquire a couple of managers to feed on these stations here so I can properly trade goods with them as I should. And we will see about... What was it? Shit. We will see about... my brain is not functioning anymore. Buying all of the mining and gas mining ships that we need to supply these damn stations. Regardless, though, thank you very much for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. Have yourselves a great one, and I will catch y'all next time. And actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and... God knows I haven't done this in forever. Let's go see if there's somebody else doing this right now. I have not raided anyone in a long time. So let's give that a try. Let's be that guy for once here. Let's see here. Alright. Let's see here if I can actually... Hopefully it's not going to... Of course it's going to play random ones here. Foundations. Who do we got here? Oh, great. Different Dutch ones. I think literally there's only like a few of us out there right now. There's a rerun. Oh geez, oh no, it's a battleship. Yeah, pretty much, just some guy. Let's go for the some guy. Yes, let's go after this lovely Frank Maniac here. So yes, thank you again for watching, everyone. Hope you all enjoyed. Have a great one, and go get this lovely fellow. Till next time, have a great one. And go.